I speak with a quote. If you were born with the ability to change someone's perspective or emotions, never waste that gift. It's one of the most powerful gifts God can give, the ability to influence. Shannon L. Elder. Okay. So many of you have probably been to the Museum of Discovery at some point in your life, maybe for events or school field trips. And I've been going there ever since I was little. I would go in elementary for like their Dino Dash, and every time I've been there, I've never had a negative experience. Here we go. So communication skills are used in all aspects of our lives, and learning to identify them can lead us to improving them. I'm going to talk about my experience, the museum's mission, how I communicated, and how it could have been improved. So Tinkerfest. Tinkerfest is an event that they hold every year where they set up a variety of booths of hands-on stimulating activities for the kids. And this just provides them with the opportunity to explore engineering and science, which connects to the museum's mission, and you heard it earlier, to ignite and fuel a passion for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math through dynamic and interactive experiences. And that's exactly what this event does. It's interactive experiences with the kids with all of the different activities that they have. All right, so my story, I'm really going to focus today on my leader of my group because she had the biggest impact on me. I kind of went into the day not with the best attitude. I didn't really want to be there. I had worked all week. I had been in class all week, homework all week, and like Saturday was my only day to sleep, and I had to get up and go to this event. And then I got there, and this kid hit me in the face with a metal rod, and like, I was just not feeling it. But my leader, she was really great. Her name was Laura. She was very passionate about her job. She was super friendly, and she was interactive with all the kids. And so at my station, what we did was we had chalk and then like different tools that you could sand down. They had wood that you could draw on with the chalk, and then we were showing kids that you could sand down the wood and it would like erase the chalk. And then they had the other things that would like sand notches into the wood. That's what I got hit in the face with. But this was just an interactive experience with the kids that could encourage both art and engineering passions. So, let me go to my next slide. Communication principles that would relate to my story. My first one that I'm going to talk about is communication is inevitable. So, the definition is you cannot not communicate. All behavior has a symbolic potential and can be interpreted by others. And then the example from my story would be my group leader, because she would sit on the concrete with the kids, and she had been there all day in the heat, but she still had like a positive tone, and she still was in a good mood and working with these kids, even though you know she was exhausted. And it was her job to be there, but her and a lot of the other employees there just went above and beyond, and her actions just communicated that she really enjoys her job, and she really did care about these kids. She didn't have to just straight out say it. It was communicated. And then a communication concept, it's social identities. So this is defined as the components of self that are derived from involvement in social groups, which we are interpersonally committed. And then Laura, she, like I said, she was friendly, and she just kind of like, hi, where do you go? Like, what do you do? Where do you work? Oh, I'm a student. I work here. And then she talked about her life and talking about working at the museum, which is just a common thing we do when we first talk to someone. We kind of tell them our social identities, and this is just a common practice. This is just surface level of my social involvement. And then my next concept is going to be paralanguage, communication that is vocalized but is not a verbal part of spoken message, such as speaking rate, volume, and pitch. This goes into my experience because the tone of her voice, she always remained with a positive tone, and it just illustrates that the way that she spoke did have an effect on the way that I perceived her message. Okay, and then took. It's kind of blurry when it gets all big, but it's just all of the different tents that they had set up. Alright, so my improving concept, there was nothing necessarily wrong with the way that we communicated, but there's always room for improvement. The first thing I would use to improve would be communication competence, which is the knowledge of effective and appropriate communication patterns and the ability to use and adapt that knowledge in various contexts. I feel like I have more knowledge of communication skills than I actually put into act. Like, I know about them, but if I would actually put them into action in my life, I would have a more positive experience. And then my ethical implication is respect, is actively listening and showing regard for the ideas of others before evaluating and responding to their messages. And I just feel like if I would have gone into this day with a more positive attitude, and if I would have had more respect for the people organizing the event and all the people that really cared about the event and put in all this effort, then I would have gone in without like a predisposed attitude that it was going to be a bad day, and I would have communicated better. So, in conclusion, we use so many communication skills in our everyday lives, and if we're able to identify them, then we can learn to improve them. I had a rough start to my day, but it was improved by the communication competence of my group leader. And just to close this off, if I could have a fifth slide on here, it would be a picture of the wound on my face.